But I can remember that like it was yesterday. Skinny little bony thing at the time. And I remember John Pratt, the ball came out, it was about 35 yards out, and I remember Pratty saying to me, who ironically used to was one of the coaches when I was 11, 12, who used to coach us as well. So that was ironic, and he just said, hit it, Hod. And sort of shut my eyes and hit it, and it flew in. So lovely, lovely feeling, and a nice way to start your debut.
As a schoolboy, Glenn was only 1 year older than me, but I didn't get too many opportunities to train with him because he had that ability. He was always training with the older boys, and but as soon as I did get the opportunity to train with him on a regular basis, you very quickly made aware of everything that everybody said about him, his wonderful abilities, and of course our supporters were able to see him on a match basis, but to see him, everyday training and the abilities he had and what he could do with the ball was for us, very, very much world class.
Glenn's rise to becoming the driving force of the team in the late 70s and early 80s was meteoric. His class and skill shone through, but his style was often regarded as lazy. However, the arrival of Argentines Ricky and Ozzy soon helped get the best out of Glenn.
People like Ricky and me arriving in his own club, it was like a touch of fresh air. Of course, we play differently, and we understood him 100%. I always understood Glenn right from the beginning. When I saw him play the first time, he said, he's one of us, he played like us, and so on. Apart from that, it was wonderful to play with Glenn. Glenn was the best player I ever played with. I mean, in England, definitely the best player. In the world, I can only say that Maradona was better than him, not many more people. That's it. This is how highly I rate Glenn.
Yeah, for me, Glenn was in this all day the best English player in the league. Maybe the English people don't recognize him like a great player, but I training every day with him, and he was a super skilled. Can hit the ball with the left, with the right. Was a super player.
Glenn was great because he had a wonderful vision. Glenn, when he got the ball, obviously magnificent first touch. Glenn would always look for the killer, the dangerous ball, the difficult ball, the long ball, the ball behind defenders, the ball through, sort of over the top, the ball down the sides of people. And for me, it was great because obviously he used to look for the ball over the fullback, so that was great. And he used to stretch teams and then create space all around you. It was great to play with. If you made a run, Glenn would spot it, but Glenn would then assess, yeah, that's a good run, but I've got a better run over here. He was that good. He was doing this in his brain. He had the ball at his feet. It was one of the best long passes I've ever seen.
It was very much the right player arriving at the right time. Gilzean had left in 74, Peters would leave in 75, and the crowd were looking for a player who could carry on the traditions of the stylish ball player with an eye for goal. And in Glenn Hoddle, the crowd got their wish.
There's Hoddle, there's Ardiles, there's Hoddle! Oh, smashing! Oh, it's a brilliant goal! My heaven, they really got their cutting together then. That's a magnificent goal. People all around this ground are standing on their seats. Just look at this. The touchback and hit on the full, and it hit the back stanchion before Bailey saw it.
And I've always thought that the style of football that I played suited Tottenham and what the fans wanted there. And so that was like a little bit of a marriage that was made in heaven, really. And it's been nice to go around the world and get Tottenham fans, from all around the world, really, saying how well they enjoyed me playing.
It was a glittering career for Hoddle, who played nearly half a century of games and scored over 100 goals, leaving the club as he joined it with a wonder goal.
Yeah, Oxford one was special, as it was my last game at White Hart Lane before I was going off to Monaco. And I remember picking the ball up very deep in our own half. Again, you just run with it, you cover the space that was there, and just going through and finding myself, through the whole team, and one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and just give him a nice little feint, went round him. And I've seen people miss, when they go around the goalkeeper, and it did come into my mind. Ronnie Rosenthal, I think, did it a few years later. But I just stayed concentrated and trickled the ball in, and I remember just blowing a massive kiss to the fans. There's my farewell gift, It was something, again, people remind me of, and they enjoy the goal. And that's what I think. I think somebody said to me, you know, I scored quite a lot of goals, over 100 goals, but you know, I wasn't a great goal scorer, but a scorer of great goals, and I think that sort of summed my career up. And that was like a nice little gift on my last game at White Hart Lane to give to the fans, really.
The backbone of the double-winning side was Dave Mackay, but the club were lucky to sign him. Bill Nicholson showing once again why he's one of the best managers in the business.
Played at the World Cup in '58. Mel Charles, John's brother, was a fantastic player and he had a wonderful World Cup. And everybody wanted him when he came back. But Mel didn't want to leave Swansea. Bill Nick went and got Mackay.
When Tottenham Hotspur came down to sign me, I didn't want to go. But after speaking to Bill Nicholson, and these guys have got this authority about them, that you might think, hey, he knows what he's talking about. So I decided to go in the finish. And it's probably the best thing I've ever done.
And so the Scot moved down from Hearts and quickly integrated into the team.
You know, all I used to think at Tottenham, that we're going to score goals. Regardless. You know, we play anybody, I don't care who we play, we're going to score goals.
Still, Spurs moving around. Always someone wanting the ball, always someone moving into space. There's Mackay, and goal number 6.
They're all going to score goals. So we're going to win the match. If we, the defence, I'm taking myself as a defender. If we defend and don't let any goals in, we've won the match, which happened regularly.
But he did suffer from his fair share of injury problems. A recurring knee injury kept him out of the famous 5-1 Cup Winners' Cup final victory.
And I was so sad because I wasn't playing. I had the injury at that particular time. And I had played for Scotland up at Hampden and got a muscle, I'd done a muscle in my stomach, the pelvic injury, so I couldn't play. So I was delighted for the boys, obviously, but so sad I didn't play. And it's only because I played for Scotland and had the injury against Austria.
And his never-say-die attitude and short fuse on the pitch is probably best portrayed in this iconic photo of him with Billy Bremner.
Well, Billy, I mean, he's not the best at keeping his temper. And I went past Billy, tackled him, and stood up, and he came round. He passes the right leg, the good one, he knows which is the bad one, and whacks the left leg. And at that time, I really could have done. I could have threw him over the... I felt so angry and so strong. I could have done anything with him. But he was a smashing wee player, a brilliant player, but dirty wee guy.
And was Dave a dirty player?
Tough, yes, but dirty, no. You know, like people, one or two say you were a dirty thing. And I was never like that, but I'm a different person off the park than I am on the park. If I'm on the park, I've got to be the winner. I mean, you obviously don't win all the time, but I've got to be the... When we're playing five-a-side in the gym, it's a rough house in there, and that's against my own players.
Mackay did so much for Tottenham. When he first came here, he transformed everything. It was remarkable. I can't explain it really, but he came into the training sessions at the first stage and everybody just went, you know, what have we got here? You know, and because everything was so important. Everything was dynamic. And there were squabbles galore over goals, whether they were goals or weren't goals, even in five-a-side matches.
I never played